Imagine this for a second. Just picture a single eyebrow. Yeah, like just one eyebrow. Maybe it's a bit over-laminated, And that one eyebrow kicks off this massive global online war.
Right. It sounds completely absurd, like something you'd make up for a sketch show.
Exactly. Too weird to be true. But here's the thing. In this, super connected world we live in now, something that seems totally trivial, totally minor.
Absolutely explode, yeah.
It blows up into this huge cultural moment.
Yeah.
Millions talking about it. And it actually tells us a lot about, well, us and how we are online. So today, that's what we're doing, a deep dive into exactly that kind of saga. We're talking about the long-running Team Hailey versus Team Selena thing.
Which has been around forever, really.
Right, not new at all.
Right.
But it got seriously reignited, like dramatically back in early 2023.
Yeah.
And the spark? Yep, it was literally an eyebrow incident.
It's wild.
Millions debating, public figures getting just tons of backlash. The whole narrative just spiraled, way beyond anyone's control. It really makes you ask questions about, like, celebrity social media, ourselves even.
And that's exactly what we're aiming for with this deep dive. We've gathered a whole stack of sources, got some really interesting bits from the Selena and Hailey feud, social media saga.
Yeah.
And the goal here is to pull out the really important stuff, the key insights, to get beyond just the headlines, the quick takes.
Yeah, go deeper.
Exactly. We want to figure out not just what happened step by step, but why. Why did it matter so much? And what does this whole thing really show us about how things work online? The dynamics, which can be pretty intense.
Yeah, volatile is a good word.
So think of this as like your shortcut. We've done the reading, sifted through it all so you can get, properly informed on this whole saga that, let's be honest, baffled and entertained and maybe even worried millions of people.
An eyebrow ignites a firestorm.
Okay, so let's start digging into this. And it really did kick off with something that seemed completely harmless. An eyebrow. So picture this. Selena Gomez, who, let's face it, lots of people see as the internet's sweetheart.
Oh, definitely. That's her image.
She shares this TikTok, super lighthearted, totally relatable, and what's it about? She's basically laughing at herself for accidentally over-laminating her brows.
Which, who hasn't had a little beauty mishap like that?
Exactly. It's just normal human stuff. Someone tries a trend, maybe goes a bit overboard, and then just shares it. Self-deprecating, kind of funny.
Right. Like something you'd text your friend about.
Totally. It felt like a celeb just being, normal, relatable, no big deal.
But, and this is really key to why everything blew up afterwards, you have to understand that existing perception of Selena, that whole sweetheart of the internet thing, it's pervasive.
Yeah, people feel protective of her.
Totally. Her online vibe often feels really authentic, maybe a bit vulnerable, warm.
Yeah.
So when she posts something mundane like that, like a beauty mistake, it's not just a throwaway post. It reinforces that image. It builds on that identity people connect with. Her fans, they connect emotionally, They see her as like the underdog sometimes, or someone who's been through stuff but stays kind.
Right, that context is everything.
It absolutely is, because it sets up this huge contrast for what happened next. Her fans have this sort of narrative in their heads, and if anything, seems like a slight against her, especially from someone else.
It becomes instant drama.
Instant high-stakes drama. That built-up loyalty just amplified the reaction massively.
Okay, so then, just hours later, this is the crucial bit, hours. A post pops up from Kylie Jenner and Hailey Bieber, and what gets everyone talking? It's specifically, zoomed in on their eyebrows.
Yeah, the focus was very specific.
You really have to pause there, right? Was it planned? Was it just, terrible timing, a joke that landed badly?
Or just coincidence.
But the timing, right after Selena's post, and the visual focus, eyebrows, it just lit a match online. It felt too specific to a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. That timing, the just hours later part, and the visual echo Selena's brow post, then Kylie and Hailey's brow picture, that was the fuel. That's what instantly made people think, hang on a minute.
Yeah, it connected the dots for them.
Exactly. In the online world, where context gets lost so fast and people build stories really quickly from images, that kind of visual link is incredibly powerful.
It wasn't subtle, even if it wasn't intended.
Right, it didn't just invite comparison. For tons of people online, it basically screamed, deliberate jab. even if it was subtle. And, this brings up that bigger question about celebs online, doesn't it? When every post, every glance is under this insane microscope, how much responsibility do they have for how people might interpret their stuff?
Especially when there's already this, complicated history hanging in the air.
Precisely. That line between coincidence and actual intent, it gets incredibly blurry online. The court of public opinion decides fast.
And the internet. They were not buying coincidence. Not at all.
Not for a second.
The reaction was immediate. It was global. It just exploded. Specific hashtags started trending worldwide, literally in minutes.
Yeah, the speed was nuts.
Stuff like hashtag Team Selena, hashtag Mean Girls 2023 just took over everyone's feeds. It was this huge avalanche of comments, reactions, a digital wildfire, all from Eyebrows.
It's amazing, really.
What started as just, is this shady? Turned into this massive online vote, almost, about old tensions, fan drama. The speed was just, wow.
And the impact on Hailey Bieber was, immediate and very measurable. It wasn't just talk.
No, it had real consequences.
In hours, she lost hundreds of thousands of followers overnight. That's not just abstract numbers.
No, that's tangible. That's her platform, her brand.
Exactly. In that whole celebrity ecosystem, followers often translate directly to influence, to deals, to public perception. Losing that many, that fast. It shows just how quickly online opinion can shift.
And how brutal it can be.
Totally. It shows how a narrative, even one built on speculation, can seriously damage someone's standing, their brand.
Yeah.
It really highlights the power of that digital crowd.
Yeah, the digital collective.
And how a carefully built image can just start to crumble under that kind of intense, focused pressure. That follower drop was like a visible marker of the outrage, no denying the impact.
So, okay, the internet is basically on fire. Hashtags are flying everywhere. What does Selena do? Her reaction was seen by a lot of people, and our sources note this, as a total class act.
Yeah, that was the general consensus.
She went for public de-escalation. She put out this comment, really simple, but kind of powerful. It's all good, why?
The heart emoji and everything.
Right, and then she did what a lot of people saw as this really smart, almost mic drop move. She just dipped, she got off social media.
Yeah, she just stepped away.
Pulled herself right out of the chaos. Didn't feed into it, didn't engage with the drama everyone wanted her to be part of.
And that move, it was really effective, strategically speaking. And the message it sent was super clear.
How so?
Well, by saying, it's all good, and then just leaving the platform. She basically distanced herself from the whole messy fight. Positioned herself above it all.
Right, not getting dragged down.
Exactly. And for her fans, who already see her as this sweetheart, this class act, it just reinforced that image. Here she is, being mature and graceful while drama swirls around her.
So it kind of weaponized her existing image.
In a way, yeah. It let her supporters fight her corner for her without her having to get her hands dirty, which could have messed with that carefully managed persona. It really makes you think about image management in a crisis for famous people. Sometimes the strongest move isn't fighting back loudly.
Sometimes it's silence.
Or a strategic retreat, yeah. Let the public, especially your loyal fans, fill in the blanks. Often they'll fill them in your favor.
Yeah.
It subtly reinforces the idea that, sometimes quiet dignity speaks louder, especially if you already have that positive image built up. Unpacking the past, a decade of digital drama. But like we said, this whole eyebrow thing, as explosive as it felt in the moment, it wasn't really just about the eyebrows. That was just the trigger.
The spark, yeah.
It instantly brought back all this history, this feud, or perceived feud, that's been simmering for over 10 years.
The decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our sources really emphasize this. It's rooted in, love triangles, fan wars, and endless assumptions. It's this really complex mix of relationships, public perception, how fans get super invested.
Emotionally invested.
Deeply emotionally invested in stars' lives. The brows were just the latest match thrown on some very old, very dry wood. To get the whole picture, you got to look back.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's unpack it.
Yeah.
Rewind time. Because to really get why the eyebrow thing hit so hard, you need the backstory. And it all seems to circle back to one connection, doesn't it? Justin Bieber.
Absolutely central. Yeah.
This isn't just a simple celebrity romance. It's this whole saga, multiple chapters, tying these three incredibly famous young people together, all playing out in public.
For years.
Which just set the stage for a decade plus of crazy online scrutiny, fan theories, this feeling of rivalry.
Okay, so let's map out the timeline because it's crucial. It basically kicks off around 2010. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber start dating.
Jelena.
Exactly, Jelena. And they were huge. Two of the biggest young stars on the planet, Our sources nail it, calling them Disney royalty meets pop bad boy.
That sums it up perfectly. The hype was immense.
Totally. Their relationship was a global obsession. People watched every single move, analyzed every photo, every tweet.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that intense public investment meant that when they finally properly broke up after all those on-again, off-again times, it left this big emotional gap for a lot of fans.
And this hope they'd get back together.
A really strong hope for reconciliation. That emotional attachment to Selena created this fundamental divide that really shaped everything that came after. Fan loyalties got locked in early. Okay, then jump forward, big jump. 2018. This is the moment everything changes for good.
Hailey enters the picture, officially.
Hailey and Justin Bieber get married in a flash. And the speed of it, the abruptness, you can't overstate it. Especially after years of people hoping for Selena to reunite.
It came out of nowhere for a lot of fans.
Total shock to the system. Like the sources say, fans shook, memes exploded. It wasn't just, oh, another celeb wedding. For millions, it was a definitive, kind of jarring end to this romance they'd followed for years.
Felt sudden, unexpected.
Right. Especially coming relatively soon after Justin and Selena's last split. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it obviously created perfect conditions for the fan armies to form.
Team Selena versus Team Hailey.
Exactly. It pitted the diehard Selena loyalists against people who accepted or even celebrated Justin and Hailey. That shock, that disappointment for the Selena side, it was deep. It led to this really intense, almost tribal investment in the whole thing that's still going on.
And ever since then, since that quick wedding,
Yeah.
the level of scrutiny just went through the roof.
Unbelievable levels.
Our sources capture it perfectly. Every little glance, every Insta story scrutinized like it's a CIA file. It wasn't just watching anymore.
No, it became surveillance.
Active surveillance by this global network of fans just looking for anything, every photo, every appearance, analyzed for clues.
Searching for tension, subtle digs.
Anything to confirm their side of the story,
Yeah.
right? It basically turned their lives into this nonstop public drama where every tiny detail was potential fuel for the fire.
And, you know, looking through that lens of rivalry, people found things they considered evidence. Our sources give some really specific examples that kept that copycat idea going.
Right, the idea that Hailey was copying Selena.
Yeah, things like Selena's cooking show. Hailey starts a cooking segment. Or Selena wears a gold necklace. Boom, Hailey's got one too.
Could just be trends, common interests.
Objectively, yes. Could easily be coincidence, shared tastes. But when you're looking through that feud filter, suddenly they're not innocent anymore. They become loaded.
They become evidence of the battle.
Exactly. Interpreted as deliberate echoes, like a subtle fight for identity or influence or something. It stops being about individual choices and starts being about proving points in this made-up war.
And enough of those coincidences pile up.
And it cements the idea for a lot of people that, yeah, there's this secret competition always happening just beneath the surface.
Which brings us right back to that key question the sources raise. The one that sums up all the ambiguity, the speculation, the power of just perception online. Coincidences, or a subtle battle for identity. It's the question fans have been debating forever, isn't it? Each side totally convinced they're right.
It really shows how easily ambiguity gets twisted online. How a similar outfit becomes proof of a dramatic fight. Perception just takes over, especially when there's already this juicy story people want to believe.
Makes you, the listener, think, right? How much of what we see online is real and how much is just the story we're already invested in.
And we also have to stop and think about the psychological side of this, the impact on the actual people involved.
Constantly being watched, compared.
Why not just living like that? Every choice, every post, instantly compared to someone else, someone from your past, under this global spotlight.
It sounds exhausting.
Especially in these high-profile relationships where the scrutiny is already insane. It has to mess with your head,
Yeah.
right? It can create insecurity, make it impossible to just be yourself without being put into this rivalry box.
Constantly defined by someone else.
Yeah, this constant battle against a public narrative that often has nothing to do with your reality. The emotional toll, the mental health aspect, it gets completely lost in the memes and the drama. We rarely think about that part. The public plea for peace and fan confusion.
Okay, but just when everyone thought they had the script figured out, right?
Yeah.
Team Selena here, Team Hailey there, battle lines drawn.
Digging in for the long haul.
Exactly. Then came this twist. Something unexpected. March 2023. A real shift in the public story, something that kind of threw a spanner in the works of this whole decade-long drama machine.
Totally unexpected given how entrenched it all was.
The drama had also gotten pretty ugly by then.
It really had. And this twist, it came directly from Hailey Bieber. Our sources laid out. She suddenly asks fans to stop the hate.
Which is significant in itself.
But crucially, she explicitly mentioned, and this is chilling, that she's getting death threats.
Wow. Okay, that's serious.
That elevates it way beyond just online gossip or mean comments. This is real-world fear. It shows how easily this stuff spirals from online negativity into actual terrifying threats.
A reminder that there are real people behind the profiles.
Absolutely. Real people getting real threats to their safety. It kind of forces you to confront the darker side of fan culture and online anonymity. It definitely shifted the conversation, made it less about drama, more about safety, well-being.
And then, making it even more of a shock, was Selena's response, which nobody saw coming.
Right. What did she do?
The sources highlight it clearly. Selena steps up, publicly defends Hailey.
Whoa, okay.
Seriously. Given the years of supposed bad blood, the fan wars, the whole Team Selena movement built around her, for her to publicly defend Hailey.
That's huge. Monumental, even.
Using her massive platform to call for peace, to defend the person constantly painted as her rival, it sent a massive message.
It really cut through all the noise, didn't it?
Totally. It felt like a moment of maturity, grace, something more human than the drama allowed for. It genuinely stunned people online.
And the reaction online, after Selena jumped in, predictable maybe? The internet.
Ooh,
Confused.
totally confused.
Which makes sense. Think about it. These fan bases were so invested, emotionally, tribally invested in Team Selena versus Team Hailey. They built these narratives, heroes, villains.
And then suddenly the hero defends the villain.
Exactly. The main characters were trying to stop the story that the fans were so busy writing and rewriting. It just pulled the rug out from under them. Cognitive dissonance, big time.
So what does that mean? When the people involved want peace, but the story just keeps going.
It really suggests that once a narrative like this, especially a dramatic, emotional one, gets going online, it takes on a life of its own.
Beyond the control of the actual people.
Way beyond. It seems like sometimes the fans or the internet audience become more attached to the drama itself, to the conflict, than they are to the well-being of the celebrities. It creates this self-feeding cycle of speculation and conflict that's really hard to break. Beyond the brows, what this really means. So, okay, if we pull all this together, look past the eyebrows, past the decade of drama, what's the real takeaway here? What are the deeper truths? Our sources put it really powerfully. They remind us these are two women, famous, strong, human, caught in a spotlight that burns hotter than truth.
That hits hard. It's easy to forget the human part.
So easy. They're not just characters. They're real people trying to live their lives under this insane constant pressure. Every move gets amplified, twisted, used as ammo by millions online.
It distorts everything.
Makes it almost impossible to just be authentic without being judged through this lens of a manufactured rivalry. It's dehumanizing, really, reducing people to players in a digital soap opera.
Which brings us back to that core insight, right? The deeper meaning of it all, and the sources nailed it again, didn't they? This isn't about eyebrows anymore. It's about what happens when the world watches your worst insecurities and adds fire emojis.
Oof, yeah. Just let that sink in.
In this age where everything's out there, vulnerability is exposed, the internet doesn't just watch. It participates, it comments, it fuels the fire, often, kind of gleefully.
Yeah, with a scary lack of empathy sometimes.
Those fire emojis,
Yeah.
they're not just emojis, are they? They symbolize egging it on, encouraging the drama, this collective hunger for more spectacle, no matter who gets hurt.
It's the public amplification of very private pain.
Exactly, in the most public way possible.
And this whole thing really shows how the internet itself just keeps these stories going. It's like an engine for drama. Even when Hailey and Selena themselves were calling for peace, the story just kept rolling.
Because the engine was already running.
Right? Think about fan communities. They often become these echo chambers, right? Everyone reinforcing the same beliefs, making it hard for peace messages to even get through.
Confirmation bias on a massive scale.
Totally. And this collective desire for more drama, for clear good guys and bad guys, it often just steamrolls any calls for empathy or calm, which makes you ask, what's the responsibility here of the platforms?
Yeah.
Of us as users?
Are the algorithms just feeding us more conflict because it gets clicks?
That's a huge question. Are they prioritizing engagement, even if it's toxic engagement, over well-being?
Huh.
And what about us? Are we part of the problem when we click, share, comment without thinking about the human cost?
It's a feedback loop, isn't it? Speculation becomes truth, and even a plea for peace gets drowned out by the noise.
A plea for peace can't compete with the juicy narrative millions are already hooked on.
Exactly. And that's why it's just so important to remember. Behind the hashtags, the memes, the fire emojis, there are real people, real emotions, real drama. These aren't just characters for us to play with online. They're actual humans going through stuff that gets magnified and twisted by all the noise. It's a pretty sobering reminder, actually. The internet connects us, yeah, but it can also dehumanize and cause real pain on a massive scale. All from maybe, just maybe, a misinterpreted eyebrow post.
The collective clicks and comments have real-world weight. Outro.
So, wow. We went from one eyebrow, maybe accidentally over-laminated,
Just maybe.
all the way through a decade of history, rivalry, intense scrutiny, and then this surprising call for peace. It's been a real deep dive. Lots of surprising stuff about celebrity, sure, but also huge insights into social media, fan culture, and just the human side of being constantly watched.
Yeah, and as we kind of wrap this up, it really does make you think, doesn't it? About the bigger picture. How do we consume this stuff, this online celebrity drama?
Do we feed the fire without realizing it?
Do we look for the conflict? Does our collective appetite for it say something about us? And where's the line, you know, between just harmless scrolling and actually contributing to something harmful?
It's a good question to ask yourself.
It's a reminder of the impact we all have online, not just on celebs, but on how we talk to each other, how quickly a crowd can become, well, a mob.
So we'll leave you with that provocative question from the source material, something to chew on. So, Team Selena, Team Hailey, or Team Can We Please Grow Up?
Yeah, that puts it bluntly.
It's a challenge, really, to all of us and how we act online, but always remember, real people, real